ages. And also, certain non-conventional energy sources may also have negative impact on the environment. Sometimes, while tapping these small hydroelectric projects or ocean energy or wave energy, some natural resources are also getting harmed. And also, as we can see, that this can cause habitat destruction and displace local communities. So certain positive environmental impacts and certain negative environmental impacts are also there. So these are few disadvantages, but if they can somehow be managed, so non-conventional energy sources are basically the future of the energy sources that we are having. Moving on to energy consumption as a measure of the nation's development. So, this is one point that I had already discussed in the first slide. So, it says that energy is a very important input in all the sectors of any country's economy. The standard of living of the people of a given country can be directly related to the per capita energy consumption. Energy crisis may be due to two reasons. Firstly, that the population of the world has increased considerably, and also the standard of living of the people has increased. So we need more energy. The per capita energy consumption in USA is given as 11,744 kilowatt hour per year, whereas in India it is quite less. It's about 1,255 kilowatt hour per year. Therefore, one might conclude that to be materially prosperous, a particular nation has to generate more energy, also has to consume more energy. So that's why energy consumption can be a measure or of a nation's development. Now, moving on to renewable energy sources spreading in wings in India. Yes, we are tapping renewable energy sources, and India is showing a lot of effort in developing them. And it has a vast potential. As a country, we have vast potential for renewable sources, and a number of technologies have been developed, and the Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources is looking into it. So our total solar installed capacity is found to be 74.3 gigawatt as of January 2024. We have also tried to tap biomass energy, that is energy available from natural matter. We have also a vast coastline, so we can tap the ocean energy. The potential sites are Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Islands. Besides that, we can also tap wave energy along the total Indian coast. We can tap wave energy. Besides tidal energy, so this ocean, wave, tidal, all these are energies that we get from the sea. Then also wind energy, the total wind potential in India is about 20,000 megawatt, and coastal areas like Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, there are they are the prime sites from where we can tap wind energy. In India, 340 hot springs are there, so the energy tapped inside the earth, that is geothermal energy, can also be utilized. Besides, another new form of energy which is known as magneto-hydrodynamic energy, where the thermal energy is directly converted into electricity. In the process, there's a turbine, a generator is there. That part also the research is going on, and as we can see that these doesn't matter whether the resources are freely available or not, because energy inside the earth or magneto-hydrodynamic energy can be tapped at any time. Besides, it is worthwhile to harness these resources because they are non-depleting and non-polluting type. These resources can be harnessed in rural areas also, where the equipment for harnessing can be provided at a subsidized rate. Biogas plants can be developed. Solar photovoltaic plants can be developed. The solar energy can be used for pumping, for house lighting, and a lot of important areas by the use of government help. Government should assist in that. Now, moving on to the environmental aspects of renewable energy. During every energy conversion process, some energy is obviously released into the atmosphere in the form of heat, and also some pollutants in the form of gases are also produced during this conversion process. Both this heat and the gas can cause degradation of the environment. The emitted gases are, as we know, these are all greenhouse gases, so carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur oxide, nitrous oxide, that is SOx and NOx, and they can cause a lot of pollution. That is indoor pollution, that is outdoor pollution. So the remedial measures is obviously moving on to renewables, using lesser fossil fuels, and nowadays what we are trying to do, that is the IC engines are getting replaced by electric vehicles and hybrid electric vehicles. So the vehicles running on electricity or battery, they also cause actually no emission. The carbon footprint is reducing. So what we need to do is that we need to reduce this emission of the greenhouse gases and save our environment. So our alternative is conventional energy sources must get replaced by renewable energy sources. Now moving on to Kyoto Protocol. I had already discussed about the degrading effects of fossil fuel generating plants on the environment. So from there, this protocol came into existence. So this is a kind of a protocol or an international agreement that brings into operation the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, abbreviated as UNFCCC. It is the first set of international rules that was designed to implement, and it is a multilateral environment treaty that came into force on 21st March 1994 at the Earth Summit, New York City in the year 1992 to combat the climate change. And the Kyoto Protocol was adopted on 11th of December 1997, and Kyoto is basically the name of the Japanese city in which the protocol was negotiated, and it is nowadays used as commonly in climate change discussions to refer to the protocol itself. So it is nothing but it is designed to assist the countries in adapting to the adverse effects of climate change. It facilitates the development and implementation of techniques that can help to reduce this climate change. And one of the major features of the Kyoto Protocol is that it sets a limit for those industrial countries and European community to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. The greenhouse effect, depletion of the ozone layer, everything is related to the climate change and global warming. So the greenhouse gas emissions should be reduced. So actually what they are actually saying is that the protocol is not setting any reduction targets for developing countries, but it is actually influencing the countries to clean up the environment, and rapidly developing economies such as those of China and India will have a huge impact on this GHG, that is greenhouse gas emissions, in the future. And what are the targeted greenhouse gas, that is the emission should be reduced? As I've already said, that's carbon dioxide CO2, methane CH4, nitrous oxide N2O, sulfur hexafluoride SF6, hydrofluorocarbons, and perfluorocarbons. So we need to reduce this because this can only reduce our carbon footprint. So Kyoto Protocol is something, it's as a benchmark which is telling all the countries that reduce these things, and how we can reduce this adverse environmental impact by using and tapping more and more renewables. So it's just wrapping up the entire module of introduction. What we can say that we are having an idea about what the different energy sources are, how we define renewable energy sources, how these renewable energy sources will help us to reduce the adverse effect on the environment, what is the energy consumption of a country, that is the more the energy they consume, the more the energy they produce, the more the country is flourishing, what are the strategies for meeting the future energy requirements, that is India is actually tapping all those renewable energy sources. We have an idea about how globally and Indian perspective of energy scenarios are there. There also we are seeing that there's still a high dependency on fossil fuels. How we can utilize the prospects of renewable energy sources, how they have a good effect on the environment, and how the Kyoto Protocol, that is the agreement, came into being, setting a limit and targeting the greenhouse gases. That is all the nations should try. All the development in the country is going on. All the developing countries are trying, but they should try to meet the demands and reduce the carbon footprints and the greenhouse gases, that is the GHG emissions. So, a few references we have actually taken for preparing this particular module, and so I'm ending.